Awesome. Good day to everyone. How y'all doing today? It's Nathaniel Evans, host of IAMTHEDATA podcast. I focus on leadership and spiritual coaching. And my co-host, Jeanne Muhammad, she basically introduce herself as always. And
Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. My name is Jeanne Muhammad. I am your global happiness expert. And my mantra for today is I am grateful to be alive this
uh,
beautiful, beautiful day. So, with that, Nathaniel, you have it back.
that's awesome. And we have our two amazing guests with us. We're supposed to have three waiting for her. But first, we're going to introduce Tiffany Teamer. And I like that last name. It's kind of like, let's bring the team together.
Yeah.
So let Tiffany introduce herself, to our audience.
Sure. Y'all, my name is, as he said, my name is Tiffany Teamer. I am an online fitness coach and HR professional. And I also own a travel business as well. Two beautiful boys located in Atlanta, Georgia. Glad to be here.
Oh,
Awesome.
great.
And our next guest is Mr. Frankie Wright.
Yes, Frankie Wright, entrepreneur, surveillance and technology, father of two beautiful girls, love helping, business coach, full time, loving to change lives. That's me.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
It is. I'm just making sure everything is right. Okay, there you go. Yes. So, oh man, I'm so excited for this conversation and for us actually to build and to reach our audience because I believe the work that y'all doing, and I've actually spoke to Frankie at length. I'll be calling him at 10 o'clock at night sometimes, right?
Yes,
Right.
brother. You know, my phone always open.
Yeah, it's about building leaders and about building teams. And this is what I'm hearing that Tiffany is doing as well as Frankie Wright. To actually change, I will always say to Jeannie, to change the trajectory of our lives and where we're at now and where we will be in the future. It could be 2 weeks from now, but it's still about creating that progress and really knowing that we have the right to live on higher levels in this society, and not just be subjected to mundane things or concentrating on things that do not build us as an individual or as a unit. And this is the reason why I actually encourage Frankie to come on, link with his team, because he said he had like 50 people, but I can't put all the people on my platform, right?
Oh yeah, Tiffany too. You know, Tiffany has
Yeah.
about 40.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's gonna be like a higher level, but I'm really looking forward to building with y'all on a different level, as Frankie and I spoke about, and to actually have these type of structures, these type of conversations in the future, because I believe our people do need to know that they can actually change their lives in a second, right? And this is really, really important. So,
Yes, I am excited also, Nathaniel, because I am all about doing for self. I am all about us realizing that it is just a mindset sometimes that we have, that we feel that we cannot step out and have something for ourselves. We're so programmed to working for others that we sometimes forget that that same energy that we put into working for others, if we put that same energy into developing something for ourselves, then we will be able to advance as a people and be able to reach back and help others. And so I am always excited when I see people of color knowing and going past the fear of stepping out and developing something for self. So I'm excited to hear about. I want to know, Tiffany, more about what you do, and then I want to ask the same question of Frankie. Explain exactly what it is that you do.
So for me, what I do is I'm all about fitness, but I'm also about helping people level up as far as financially, and when it comes to doing things on your time, as far as just following somebody else, as far as like money wise, you don't have to work for somebody else to get to the next level. And we feel like certain individuals feel stuck. They feel like, okay, I got to work for this person to get this amount, but it's not like that at all. It's all a mindset. You can work for yourself. You can get the additional income that you're looking for. You can have the body image that you desire, but you have to be in a certain mindset. You have to want it. So for me, it's all about having them understand that you can get to the next level. You can reach the goals that you desire in life, but it's all about you getting outside of that mindset of thinking you can't do it and just doing it. So I'm there to help them to get to that next level, to meet their fitness goals, to help them understand that you can own your own business. You can make the income that you desire, but you just have to get out of that mindset that you can't, and get out that mindset that you have to work for somebody else to get the money that you desire, basically.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, Frankie, I want to know more about you because I am just meeting you, so I'm excited about knowing exactly what you do to advance that. As Tiffany was saying, getting out of that mindset of having to work for someone else and knowing and getting past the fear of not being able to do for yourself. So, Frankie, what is it? And you have those 50 people. We're going to figure out a way to have everybody here because that's a party.
Yes, indeed. Just to piggyback off of what Tip was saying, we just want to expand people mindsets on that. You can actually build that residual income. You can actually have something that you can use leverage where you can work once and get paid for it continuously. And that's what a lot in the community that I grew up in did not know anything about. So we was not educated on actually building more equity for our families, something they can have to fall back on, something they can have generational wealth with. And so that's why I come in to help educate them and teach them that there's more out there. There's better vehicles that you can drive besides working at 9 to 5 and being forced to do that for 40 years and barely have a pension to come home to, when you can actually build something up from the ground up that your kids and your kids can benefit from. So that's what we do through the industry of travel. We teach people how they can actually go and live those extraordinary lifestyles even though you come from an ordinary background. And that is the main thing that we're trying to teach the community. There's a lot of young, you know, fellows of color just like me who grew up with nothing in their household. We grew up poor. We didn't have anything to come home. So we only knew to just go straight to work, come back. We just worked until we die. That's all we knew.
Mm.
And when I started reaching in, because I had to say it was something out there that's better. There's something out there that I need. And searching into it and researching it, I found the vehicle that can actually take my family out of that poverty level to the next level. And I'm just sharing it with everybody.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Nathaniel, I'll be the took over the conversation. So
Yeah, I mean, you're capable of doing it too. So don't even worry about that. But my thing is this is really important because as I walk through my community, I see a lot of older people, people in their 60s and their 70s, and they may be walking on a block with a cane or they may be walking on a block with a walker. And I say, we all age, we all go through these different changes, but why they ain't got those little scooters, right? Why they not able to invest in those little scooters and move themselves around? Why they have to now, work for 40 years and 50 years, and then when they get to that old age where their hip is hurting or their knee is hurting, why they just can't have a little scooter so they can allow themselves to heal, right? Because while I'm walking on my feet and my feet hurt, I'm walking and my hip hurt or my knees hurt. How would I be able to heal if this is something I'm constantly doing, right? So I look at that now. If I had $1.5 million or the potential to make $10 million, I can actually go get me a scooter, right? And I can move around to make sure that within another 10 years, when I'm 80, I could just jump out the chair and surprise everybody and start dancing at the party, right? They
You
just
know,
think I'm just stuck in the chair, right? See. So these things, as far as creating residual incomes for our lives and actually having multiple incomes, because I always talk about the Bible, but in the scriptures it says, in the time of wealth, store up your riches within 6, even 7 places, because you know not which way the wind will blow. So if you have a job, that's only one income, right? That's not storing your wealth up in 6 and 7, even 7 places. Having a collection of Nikes is not storing up your riches, right? Having a PH5 and gains associated with that is not storing up your riches. Having a car that depreciates in value every single month is also not storing up your riches, right? So I think this is important to understand, that we have to find vehicles where we can take the riches that we actually accumulate, that we're working for, basically, and take that paycheck and turn that paycheck into a working vehicle, right?
Yes.
exactly. Make your money work for itself. That's the main thing, is investing into yourself, and that's what a lot of people are scared about. Is they got to get out of their comfort zone
Mm.
and step out, because once you start investing into growing, have your money work for you,
So
and
this is a
that's what a lot of
question.
don't understand.
This is something I wanted to ask Tiffany, because she actually spoke about mindset, right? What is one of the things that you see that hinders people from actually tapping into that mindset that you're actually talking about, to actually start to accumulate these changes in their lives that's so essential, for their future selves?
Right. I feel like they have the employee mindset. And when I say employee mindset, I mean that they feel like they're, in a way, have to do things a certain way as an employee mindset, that they have to work for someone and work these amount of hours to get what they desire, instead of having that sorry, mindset, where you can actually create your own income. You can start your own business. You can, whatever passion you have, you can turn that into a business. But they don't know how to do that. They, because of the system and what we're so programmed to do. Because again, this is what we're told when we come from out of school. Go to college, go get that job, right? And when you get that job, work there till to retirement. But it's so much more than that, and it's just, in a way, I feel like, um, I want to help them get outside of that mindset of believing that they are stuck or they have to go a certain path because somebody else believes they should go.
That's a fact.
And you're so right, Tiffany. This is how we are programmed. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to college. I think education is wonderful. It's always wonderful to get as much education as we can. But we should also know that outside of the formal education that we're given in the universities, because most colleges are programming us to get a job. You don't have classes in there on how to start your own business and what is needed to come up out of as Tiffany said, an employee mindset. They don't usually teach that in higher uh, uh, education. They teach us how to go to work for someone else. So it is up to us, and I always come back to self. And what gives us that desire to do something for ourselves, because desire is what fuels the will. So I want to know from Frankie, what was it that gave you that desire and that knowledge to know that there was something else outside of what you had been taught? Because I'm like you, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in a working family, and that's all they ever encouraged was work for someone else. So, what was it, Frankie, that gave you the desire to fuel your will to do something for yourself?
And see, with your why, it always got to start with you. So I told myself I deserve better. I want better. I'm going to get better. and I just worked towards that because I knew I got two daughters, so they need to have a better lifestyle than I grew up in. So that even more pushed me to go out and find and chase after what I was going for. So that wakes me up every morning. That keeps me going. That keeps me out, staying up late nights, early mornings. It don't matter, 24/7. I'm there because I know I got something I need to accomplish, and I won't let nothing back me down from that. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's a beautiful why. Two beautiful daughters. That's a beautiful why, because that's something that sometimes we don't understand our why, and that's why we are. It's easy to push us and discourage us because we don't understand why we're doing what we're doing. And Tiffany said something about passion. See, when you step out on your why, because I see, Frankie, you're passionate about what you do because you understand your why. And you want to leave a legacy for your children besides that Mercedes Benz that when you first bought it, it depreciated the minute you drove it off the lot. So, I mean, if they hold on to it long enough, it might become a classic. But
You won't be around for it.
oh my God. Hey,
They have a
that's the
classic,
part
but
right
you won't be a part of the classic, right?
there.
So man, definitely. The why, I have some people that's up here. Oh, there we go. I have Victoria
Yeah,
Royce
she part of the
actually
team too.
part of the team. I'd have
Victoria,
put on, I'd have put on the flyer, but I didn't know she was around. Um, Introduce yourself, Victoria. Let us know who you are. I'm Nathaniel Evans. This is my co-host, Jeanne Muhammad. It's a pleasure to have you. And just let us know who you are. We can continue what we were doing.
Thank you all for having me. I'm Victoria Ross. I'm from Orlando, Florida, but I live in a little small town right outside of Jacksonville.
All right. So, and what you do? What's your
Well, right now I work at a nursing home. I'm a cosmetologist, so I sometimes do hair and nails. Starting a lip gloss line with my daughters. So outside of that, I'm running my business now, my travel business.
great?
okay, great. That's
That is
wonderful,
great.
Victoria. I want to continue this why, and I want to talk to Tiffany, and then I'll talk to Victoria. Tiffany, what is fueling your will? What is your why? What are you passionate about, and why are you putting yourself in a position to leave a legacy for your loved ones?
My why is definitely for my family regarding the legacy. I want to leave behind wheels, not bills. I want to make sure my kids have the funds that's left behind for them to keep going and to get them to the next level, and they're not depending on a GoFundMe page.
Mm.
I want to break that generational curse of believing that we have to depend on somebody else finance wise, and I want to change that mindset for my family, for everybody else as well. Definitely my why I feel like I have a higher purpose of being here on earth. I feel like I need to be here, not to be, I'm sorry, being here is, to help change lives. When it comes to spiritually, just believing that you can do it, and as long as you have a positive mindset and you focus on your why. For example, like my why is for my family. My why is to change lives. That mindset, even that you're stuck where you are financially and that you have to depend on somebody else, and you can have that personal freedom, that time freedom, that financial freedom to do what you want when you want to do it, because again, we are all here on earth for a reason, and of course it's up to us to figure out what that is. But for me, I know it's to help families, free families from that mindset of believing that they have to do things a certain way in order to get what they desire.
Yeah, I agree with that because this is the reason why Jeannie and I have been able to connect because we believe that people have the potential to be great and to do great things in their lives. but we also as people have to create new vehicles for one another, right? So we can actually help each other get to those potentials. Because I was on a conference call one day, and they just talking about homelessness in New York. And it said it's the background. Hold on, I don't know what it is, but there you go. They started talking about homelessness in New York, and I said, "Well, it's 20 of us on this conference call, so can we have a meeting after this meeting?" Something is here. I don't know what it is. Hold on.
Okay, can maybe
I
everybody
got it.
mute unless you're speaking? Just mute,
Something is here. I don't know. All right,
mute.
it's gone. It's gone now.
Okay.
I don't know what it was, but it's going now. Yeah, so basically, thanks a lot, guys. So I basically asked them, I said, well, I'm on this conference call. It's like 30 of us here. We're talking about an issue that's really, really detrimental to our communities, homelessness, right? And I said, well, after this meeting, can we have another meeting, like over a lunch or something like that, and basically put all our resources together, submit to basically putting $100 or $1,000 a month in a pot, so we can actually start buying properties in our communities, so we can actually dissolve or basically head off this homelessness that's taking place in our communities. And 90% of those people said, I got my own things that I'm doing. I'm working on my own projects. And I'm saying, so what is the reason for us actually taking the time out to come on this platform to speak about homelessness? And we're not going to actually directly try to change the homelessness crisis in our communities. I said, you can't do too much marching. How long you going to be marching? How long you going to be holding up signs talking about end homelessness in our communities when we all sit here with $500 pair of Nikes on? Or we got a Louis Vuitton bag that costs $1,500, or the glasses that we could just break cost $1,000. We could just drop it one time and they just shatter and they cost $1,000. Why can't we take that money we put in that system and put it in communities and change the resources of our lives and the realities that we see? Because who want to see a grown man laying on the sidewalk? Right?
That's
Who want
right.
to see a woman walk up to them and ask them for $1? Like who? Me as a man, I tell my wife all the time, I said, I know it's a crisis in the land, because when you start seeing women that don't care about their being, you know it's a problem. Because women are being sought after all day for men, because it's like 30 men to one woman. So for a woman to actually be in a space where nobody wants her, nobody desires her, I said, this is strange. Right?
Okay,
And
you mean 30 women to one
I
man,
mean,
right? 30
yeah,
women to one
I
man.
mean backwards, yeah, 30 women to one man. And it's strange where the men are not seeking out these women because it's not enough. It's not enough,
You
right?
know, Nathaniel, and I'm going to say this, and then I want to ask Victoria her why of doing what she's doing. Because, see, sometimes we're so envious of each other. We let envy and jealousy get in the way of us reaching out to other people, because we are so afraid of someone else having more than we have. But when Tiffany talked about a higher calling and having a purpose, see, when you understand that being part of humanity and really understanding how we're all connected, and how my energy will transfer to your energy, and that when we put that energy together, then we can go farther than if I'm out here by myself trying to make something happen, and here somebody else is over here making something happen. But getting rid of that mindset. See, we as people of color and Black people especially are so, we've been taught to pit ourselves against each other and not want to be in the same company with each other, and that envy and jealousy get in the way of our connecting. Nathaniel and I are all about leadership and understanding that as leaders, until we can change that mindset of being envious and jealous of our fellow man, then we're always going to be at the bottom. We're always going to be pitted against each other. So I am so happy, especially young people. I love to see young people grasp the importance of working as a unit, working together so that we can all elevate. Now, Victoria, your why. Why did you decide you and I may be wrong. Are you new in deciding that you're going to step out and do something for yourself?
I wouldn't say new because, of course, that's always been my mindset. Is just trying to find the routes and the right directions to go to be able to do so.
Okay.
But yes, ma'am, I've only had my travel business now for about 2 months. So I would definitely
Okay.
say I'm new to the industry and travel. But my why is definitely starting off with myself because I did hear you say that. So if I have myself in order, then it'll be easier for me to make sure my kids are in order and in line when they grow. My oldest is 16. Well, she'll be 16 in December, so it's not too long before she turned 18. And I don't want her to feel like she has to go out and figure things out or be able to do or have to do something in a different way than mama already have me together. So I don't have to do all the extra that, normally happens for us once we hit 18.
Oh, that is beautiful, Victoria. I
Thank
always
you.
say that everything starts with self. Everything starts with self. I mean, when you talk about self love, self care, self development, self esteem, self confidence, it all starts with self and getting yourself together. So that's beautiful to hear. And that's what I
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
from everyone is that they're working on developing self. Once
Mm-hmm.
you develop that self love and that self and focus on uh getting yourself in order, then we are able to go out and help to develop others. But it does start with self. You're right, Victoria. And that's where leadership comes in, because sometimes as mothers and fathers we don't see ourselves as leaders, but we are the prime leadership or leaders in our children's lives. So,
Yes,
and how can
ma'am.
you
Your first
lead?
teacher.
Yes, yes. And by example, leading by example. When I grew up, my the thing was my parents would say, do as I say, not as I do. That is to me, one of the worst things that you can say to a child, because that's hypocrisy. No, you do like you want to have other people or be that example. All I'm saying, just be that example.
Definitely. Yeah, this is an open
Yes,
forum,
ma'am.
but it was just some background. So if you move the background, you could just open your mic up because this is an organic show. We're not really into a lot of questions. We only ask the questions because we know our audience will actually want to reach out to y'all. All y'all emails is on this platform. Victoria has to send me her email so I can actually put her email on this platform. But everybody else information is on here. And this is about strengthening ourselves, right? This is about love of life, right? If we don't have love of life, we can't actually go out there and love other people, right? We don't have the motivation for our own lives. It is impossible for us to turn around and motivate anybody else that's in our inner or our outer circle, right? So for you two and Victoria, she bounced over. But for Victoria, for Latoya, for anybody that's in your entourage, I'm actually coming in to join your entourage. But for anybody that's inside your entourage, it is a beautiful thing that y'all doing with each other, that y'all increasing the lives of one another, but y'all also changing the mindset, y'all changing the heart, y'all changing that spiritual aura that is required for all of us to actually
I tried to type
enjoy,
my email. I'm sorry.
yeah, no problem, to enjoy the fruits of our labors. The worst thing that we can do is to actually create fruits of labors for others that will not turn around and share with us. That's
That's
one of the worst things that we can do in this existence, because you don't want to become bitter. You don't want to become angry about this life. You don't want to come to a point where you actually distrust this life. You want to know that this life is worthy of living, is worthy of having, and worthy of sharing with other people. And that's
Right.
only by being in circles that's going to promote you and allow you to take the energy that they give you and carry that energy for the next 30 to 40 years.
Mhm.
Yes. I love it. Yep. That's all what it's about, helping each other. Yeah, giving out your hand to pull the next person up to get to the next level. Because that's all it's about is
Exactly.
helping each other. Helping
Yeah,
everybody to level up. It's all about that. It's not about, oh, let me do better than this person. No, let me help this person so we can be on the same level and go up to the top together as a
yeah.
team.
As a team, that's right. We want to have a 20-year reunion of this conversation right here. You know, it's
Yes, sir.
it's saying like this is where we was at 20 years ago. This is where we at now, and then we have a whole host of other leaders that's in our mix, right? And I say these individuals help me. They allow me to see past the constructs that has been designed for me within society. I was on I don't know who background it is, but just somebody mute. I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of them, but I don't know which one. But when you want to talk, just open your mic up because I don't know where
Let
the
me see. It ain't mine.
I think it's coming from Frankie. It's coming from Frankie.
Well,
No, that's
Me
it's
either,
not
because I
mine is
don't
Frankie.
get
unmuted
it.
right
No,
now.
no, Frankie good. Frankie good.
Oh yeah. All right. So I don't know where it's coming from. I'm sorry, Frankie. I didn't want to accuse you like that,
You
but
see how you gonna
Don't
do me?
don't
I
pick
don't
on
know.
yeah,
Frankie. I'm
I
here
don't
for
want
Frankie. Don't you
I
pick
didn't want
on
to throw you under the bus, brother. But I'm just saying. But I still
Oh
hear
man.
it. You got to mute yourself again, Frankie, because I
Let
still
me
hear
see.
it.
Okay, you know
Yeah,
what?
it's going now.
Nathaniel.
It's going now.
Okay,
So
all right. Well,
yeah,
maybe it was Frankie. Okay,
it could,
Frankie.
yeah, because
Okay,
what Frankie,
but
yeah,
anybody that wants to speak, just unmute and speak because this is an open. We want to hear from everyone because one thing that Nathaniel and I do know, everyone has something to offer in order to elevate another person. There may be somebody on here that will hear Frankie's story and say, I can do the same thing that Frankie is doing, or Victoria or Tiffany. I can do that. And that's what my that started me on my journey was being able to be an example for older people. Because some people think that because of their age, they're too young or they're too old or like I hear people that are in just turned 50 and they think life is over with for them, and nothing could be farther from the truth. So when I see young people have grasped the fact that it's now is a good time, anytime that you come to the realization that you can make a difference, anytime you come to the realization of what your purpose is, that's the time to
that's the
step
time.
out. That's the time. Step
Yeah,
out. You could be, I see some young people 15, 16 years old. They know. They already know. And I think how exciting to be
that
15
is.
or 16 and already know your purpose. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And Victoria, I'm going back to Victoria because
Uh oh.
I love to hear the fact that she decided that she wanted to give her children. You have an 18, you said you have a daughter,
16 year old. 16
16
year
year
old.
old. She's 16.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have 5. That's just my oldest.
You have
She's about to
5.
be
Okay,
16.
you
Yes,
go,
ma'am.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
ma'am. And I just want to be able to push as hard as I can to make sure she's good before she turns 18. Make sure that, college tuition and stuff is paid for. We don't have to go through anything that we'll have to pay back, student loans or anything like that. Just to make sure that they're all good when they get to that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that Gina.
No, you go ahead,
Oh
Nathaniel.
yeah,
I know.
because yeah, like I said, y'all could chime in anytime, but we don't want to get trapped into systems that's not going to improve the overall quality of our lives. I was saying earlier, I was a part of the Close Rikers Island campaign. I did speeches on it, marches and stuff like that. And one of the slogans that they was using was the school to prison pipeline. They were saying that the school system was like a pipeline for the prison system. And when we actually go back in introspection and look at it, we can say, well, could that be true? What are they teaching in there? Right? They talking about Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and things of that nature. We don't know those people. They didn't change the lives for our people. They didn't give us the right tools and the resources and the mindset to go in the world, prosper in the world. When these people exist, we didn't even exist. We had a non-existence when these people exist. So now we actually learn about these people that didn't have any intake into our overall development as a people. So now, because I'm learning frivolous information, that means that, yeah, it is a pipeline for me to fail because the information I'm learning is frivolous. That's the reason why it's basically structured in that way. So we have to understand what it is that actually being taught, what's being illustrated to our children, right? Is there any coding classes? Are there any entrepreneur classes? Right? I was driving one day and I saw in the Jewish community, I saw a business center. That's what it said. It said business center. And I said, why isn't a business center in my community? Right? Why can't I go in my
Yes.
community and walk into a business center and learn how to create an LLC, learn how to create a nonprofit, learn the difference between a sole proprietorship or a general partnership? Why am I able to go walk into a business center? Right? Why am I able to go in there and find out how do I actually create a dog walking program or create my own dog organization? Right? This is a multi-million dollar business, dogs. Right? Why can't I go in there and do this concept that I have for my life? I get an inspiration and I see this business, I can go in there and I can compound off that inspiration. But if I
Oh,
get
yes, Nathaniel. See, we don't see as a people how collectively how we are. Last week I talked about how Black people as a collective, the money that we have in our Black communities, if you put it together, we have the riches of the ninth richest country. If we were a country, if we were a nation like all these other nations in the world, we would have the ninth largest economy.
economy in the
And
world.
see, we don't see that. We are working on division and not unity. Now, Frankie said something earlier about his background, and I think it's important that we be able to relate to the fact that we don't necessarily have to have come from money. We can come from poverty. I mean, and I always use myself as an example because I was born in poverty. And I always say I was born in the middle of a cotton field in a 2-room shack. And it's true. A
Mm.
2-room shack that had no running water, no electricity, none of the amenities in Louisiana. It was in Louisiana.
I swear
But
we grew up in the same house.
yes, yes, that's what I'm saying, Frankie. I mean, I remember when, as I was growing up, I see my sisters and I, we had to sleep in the same bed, and I was the middle child, so I had to sleep in the middle,
Mm.
and
I was the
here,
youngest. I had to sleep at the foot.
Yes, that was me. I was the youngest and had to
And
sleep in
it's
the
four of
middle.
us. We was all in one room. That's it. One room, four kids. That's
That's the
us.
middle of the bed.
One restroom. We all got a share.
that's right. That's right. I can remember my father would buy a candy bar, one baby Ruth. He'd buy the candy and split it into 3 pieces. You know, he could only afford one baby Ruth. So we all would get one piece. He would buy one bottle of soda and split it up 3 ways. And then my mother adopted my nephew. So, oh my God, now here everything got to be split up 4 ways, you
And
know.
I want to say something about that because it's an Arab guy that I know, and when I go into his establishment, he got this big platter, right, and there's all different type of food on it, and he got all his friends or cousins, whatever, and they all eat out the same platter, right? And I guess even from those times when we was going through poverty, it wasn't really poverty. It was actually teaching us actually how to get around poverty, right? And how to defeat poverty in its tracks, right? Because if I'm hungry and you're hungry, and we say this meal costs $20, if I go buy one for 20 and you buy one for 20, that's $40 gone. But if we split it, we basically save $10 a piece. So we only spent
Yes,
$20 on this meal, and we don't need a whole $40 meal. We only wanted one meal to sustain us, right? So when we actually put our resources together into one pot, when we go back in that pot, we're gonna be ecstatic actually what's inside of that pot. We're
that
gonna be like,
is,
we saved
yes,
all this. We got all this meat and potatoes inside this pot. We didn't even know that. We just thought it was filled with juice, right? But it's you know, right? But it's just right. It's substance in this pot now because we actually came and put it all together. And now we can go in there and say, you know what? Let's go build this. Let's go get a property in Louisiana. Let's go to Georgia and get a property. Right? Let's open up this business over here in Brooklyn or in Texas. Right? We able to actually start doing these fundamental things for communities that we say that we care about. Right?
that's right.
We
And
we say it.
yes, yeah, and that's why. And I want to talk to Frankie about, even though or you did have that experience in that poverty, you do have that mindset that Nathaniel is talking about being in unity. What is it that motivated you to reach out to other people?
Because I didn't want to have to keep sitting around and asking to join someone else's table when I could create my own and invite whoever I want to it. It shouldn't
Mm,
have to be a restriction or you have to be a certain class to come sit at my table. I know everybody that came from a low background like me that needed this, that needed this opportunity, that's been looking for something like this, and I found it. So if I hold it to myself, I'm just being selfish.
mm.
When I can show them a way out, I can educate them and get them farther than where they're at right now, just being stuck in the same location, same place, don't have big dreams, don't even think about dreaming big because they're restricted, they're confined into that one spot is what they've been taught and what we grew up in the same environment. And they like, oh well, you made it because you had this or you had this. Now I just had the hunger for it. And it's not my fault that you didn't listen to your hunger. I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing and how I did it. Like at some point you just gotta get up and do
That's a
it.
fact.
Exactly.
And
Okay.
that's how I overcame that. Like
Yeah.
it
That's
took a lot of
exactly how I am.
sacrifices, a lot of everybody coming together. Like Nate was saying, like we all had to put into this pot. Like we all had, like my brothers, we had to share the same clothes. My sisters had to share the same clothes. We all had to pass that down. We had to go to our auntie's houses and get something that's handed down or anything from my cousins or something. But it took those sacrifices that made me stronger so I won't have that for my kids. I made
Yes,
sure.
Because when you think about it, everybody's, as far as social media is so big right now. So you have the younger generation is looking at somebody else as far as what to do next. And um, so far, when it comes to business, are just knowing about what you can do as far as your future, of getting started that mindset and providing for your family. You're so used to seeing what your mother have done, and what your friend or whoever in your life, what they're currently doing. You're stuck in that mindset that you have to follow the same path, and that's not. And you have to get outside of that mindset that you have to follow your family footsteps. So if it's a path that you're not looking to follow for your family, you can make that change. But it's all about you reaching out and finding that information, or if somebody reach out to providing you an opportunity to get outside of that and make a change for yourself and your family, it's really up to them to decide if they're ready to do that.
That's correct. That's
Exactly.
correct.
I always teach my kids to look and live beyond what you see.
Ooh,
Always read between the lines. It doesn't matter what's around you. Know that you are better and you are somebody and you will be somewhere one day. So never just fit in with the crowd. Be yourself. It doesn't matter if you have to be by yourself. Just be yourself.
oh, that is so powerful, Victoria, because that is exactly what I was thinking, that sometimes it is a lonely path because you may not find a lot of people that have that same mindset that you have, but we should not be discouraged, because if we still exude that same energy, there will come a time when that energy will attract other ones with the same mindset into your world. Nathaniel and I are perfect examples of that. That when you have a certain mindset and you know that you are worthy, and you know that there is better for you, and you keep on that path, don't get discouraged, because the minute you make up your mind to do better, that's when sometimes even people in your family, your friends, they'll be like, why are you doing that? Why you don't come party with us anymore? Why
And
don't
this,
you?
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I was gonna say, and it's only because they didn't have the mindset to do. So it makes them look at you crazy. Like, how did you think of that? Who taught you that? We never done that. We still in this same spot. But you have to have your own mind, your own strong will being to get up and do it.
Yeah, I was reading a lot of personal sayings. There was a personal saying that I read before, and it's saying that most people that actually become successful actually became successful like when they was at the point of actually giving up, right? When they was actually came to the point where they said, you know what, it's too much. I called 1,000 people today, and only 1.5 people, responded to my message. And you just find that one needle in a haystack and says, listen, man, I'm a part of your team. I'm going to fight with you. We're going to eat together. We're going to drink together. We're going to go vacations together. But I see Frankie go on some different vacations and stuff like that. And actually, unify ourselves in so many different elements that it will be hard for us to actually break apart, right? And that 3 4 core, you braid in your hair. If you do it right, it's gonna be hard for those braids to come out, right? And it's
Yes,
the same way as a unit of people. We have to tie ourselves together in the same type of knot, right? To actually strengthen ourselves. So if one of us become loosened or loosening up, we go and grab and say, "Hey, where you going? You going the wrong direction? We going this way." Right? We don't want to find you on this corner. We don't want to find you doing these different things. We want you to travel the path you've been going because it's actually we can see the level of success on that path. And I believe it's about making sure that we hold each other accountable. Because I know once I sign up with Frankie, he's gonna hold me accountable, right? And he's gonna show me the tools, the resources. Say now, then you got to get to work, right? And
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
shoe was on the
You
other
got
foot,
that right.
if the shoe's on the foot, I'm gonna do the same thing, right?
Yeah,
So
we
I
got to
really
feed into
appreciate
each
that.
other. We
Yeah,
that's
we got
that's
it.
how
That's
coaching
right.
go.
That's
But to go
correct,
along
man.
with that, that's the same how when I found Tiffany, I was praying for it, looking for someone that had the same mindset as me, someone I can build and grow with. And I was just about to give up for the day, and something told me like, "No, keep going, keep going." I know you had 15 no's today, 20 no's. It's okay. Just keep going. Just keep going. Sure enough, I ran across her, and that changed the whole momentum and everything going with my business. Like she has been a blessing to everything that I am doing.
Mm.
It's so hard to find someone that's similar with the same mindset, that's looking to grow, that's looking to achieve, that's looking to put the work in with you, that stays up with you going through every struggles that you're going through, and we still pushing it. We still going. And I'm like, and that is just the whole point. As you just never know when that breakthrough gonna happen.
That's right. Just staying true to your course, your true to your purpose, and actually honing your why. I guess 2 weeks ago was actually spoke about something very profound, and I actually shared it with Frankie. He was saying that when you plant a seed in the world, it's your responsibility to cultivate that seed. You have to water that seed. You got to go check up on that seed. You know, you got to make sure that seed is not being attacked. You know what I mean, and being destroyed, right? And it's the same principle of gardening. Is that the same principles that we have to use to increase our lives? I think all the things that we have experienced in our lives is to increase us, right? When we're looking at food as a nourishment, when we're looking at each other, we have to nourish one another. When we get into any task in our lives, is to improve us and to show us that we are part of the bigger picture, which is life. We're here to build on the principles of life. Is the reason why we actually came here as life forces, right? This is the only reason why we're here, is to continue to build the principle of life, to show life that is worthy, you know what I mean, of having us, and that we're worthy of actually having this life, and that we're going to take this life that we have given, that was given to us as a blessing, and we're going to righteously pass it on, right? We're going to show that it is so important that we are here, you know, as a people, and we're going to give those same blessings to our children's children, because this is what we do.
And Nathaniel, one thing thread that I have heard throughout this conversation, and is so important, and something you and I talk about all the time, is never forgetting our source, never forgetting the higher power, never forgetting our creator,
Mm,
never thinking that it's all about just I, and where and the source of my energy, my life, who gave this to me, and being grateful for this
say it
life,
again.
being grateful to my creator, and for giving me life, being grateful for the people that come into my life. It's so beautiful that Frankie acknowledged Tiffany, because sometimes we forget to uh, uh, thank the people that are in our lives, that add to our lives, and are ungrateful for the opportunities that we are given to live. So, and I am so thankful for everyone here today acknowledging that higher power, acknowledging their creator, and being
Hmm.
thankful, and
Being
being
thankful.
thankful and grateful.
Yeah, like, you know, like even like, say where you live at, you know, you got a nice place, right? Or you got some place you could put a key in and turn the lock, and you can actually find yourself in safety, right? Do you ever take the time out and see the bricks that's on outside the building, and thank the bricks for being there and working in harmony, right? Do you ever
Yes,
take the time out to do that and say, you know, without the creation of being able to create bricks and putting these bricks together, I won't have nowhere to live, right? Do we actually take the time out to appreciate the things that are in our lives, right? That continue to allow us to have the life that we seek for one another, or we seek
yes,
for ourselves, right? Do you take the penthouse for granted? Do you take the condo for granted? You know, do you take your little humble apartment for granted? Because all the things that's there is allowing you to actually be in a space like we're in now, you know what I mean, to create new lives for ourselves, right? And remember, when we springboard from these places that we at now in 2022, don't get to 2025 and say, I'm greater than 2022, right? 22, you know, I'll never go back into 2022, or find people that still have that 2022 mentality and bring them with me to the table, right? Never get to the point where you feel that you're greater than others, you know what I mean? And that you don't have the right or the responsibilities to continue to increase others as others continue to increase you, right? When you drink that bottle of water, it's to increase you. When you eat that food, it's to increase you. When you actually go work out, or when you actually go take care of somebody like Victoria does, it's also to increase you. It's not just to increase that person, it's also to increase you. So this is a great gift of leadership to know that as we increase others, we also increase ourselves.
Yes, yes. And so that's one reason I am always so grateful for this platform, to be able to welcome other people that have a similar mindset. Because, they say that we are the five people that we surround ourselves with.
Mm.
So who are those five people that are a constant in your life outside of your children, your wife and all, but those five people that have that same mindset that you have, that you're feeding off each other and you're growing with each other. And so when you are blessed to have that five or more, and Frankie and Victoria and Tiffany, they got it going on, because they got all of these people that are working together with the same mindset. So what a blessing.
Yes.
What a blessing.
It's been a blessing having Victoria in too. She been showing great leadership since she came in. She always uniting everybody with the team. Like, even though she just now started, she's still running. She's still helping over. What, you're almost at 3 families now. You're bringing out of
Yes,
her.
Oh,
So
yes.
great.
that's
Awesome.
major
Celebration.
accomplishment. And
That's a
you're
great
doing that
accomplishment.
in with less than 2 months. So that is kudos, and I'm proud of you. I just want
Thank
to state that
you.
I'm proud of you.
That comes with great leadership, though. Y'all really help out.
Oh yes,
That's
Yeah,
wonderful. That's
and
wonderful.
yeah, we're winding down, but I definitely want my audience to know that everybody information is here. Tiffany's, Frankie's, Victoria, the emails is up there. What they stand for is up there. Victoria is basically a part of this team of travelers, of leadership and entrepreneurs. Not to look at it about traveling, we're looking at it as far as leadership and entrepreneurism, and a time where entrepreneurism is extremely important, right? If there was ever a time where it was for you to actually make sure you protect yourself in this life on an economical level, this is the time right here, right? We got
Definitely.
we
yes
got people
indeed.
that's dying every day. We got people that's not leaving legacies for their children. We don't have a stamp on life. We don't know when we're gonna pass away and things of that nature. So we have to take responsibility now, in the moment, to ensure that if something was to happen to us, that the people that we care about in our lives will be protected and taken care of. And this is what
Yes.
this is about.
Yes. And as Nathaniel said, we're getting ready to wind down. So again, I want to thank everyone that has given of themselves today to let other people, to be of service, because I do believe that our main purpose for being here, our giving life, is to be of service to other people. And so I thank all of you for having that mindset of being a servant and being willing to help others to achieve, and knowing that by being unselfish, that we can all be at the top. When they say it's lonely at the top, it doesn't have to be lonely at the top.
Not at
I
all.
mean,
That mean they
Not
just
at
reach back
all.
down.
Frankie gonna bring 50 or more with him,
We got like
so we're gonna have a
5,000
lot at the
people,
top.
right?
For sure. Yep.
Yeah. So
Definitely. As long as everybody is like-minded, positive, and moving forward, even if they fail, we fail forward. It's not going to be lonely at the top.
No,
that's
it
right.
won't be. No, it won't
Nope.
be.
Succeed together,
Not at all. I'm throwing a
fell
ladder down.
together.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
not be alone
We
at the
all
top.
in.
We all coming. I'm throwing a ladder down. Everybody getting up here.
Ah,
Everybody winning.
all right. So
Oh man.
we,
So we're gonna link Jeannie to this platform too. And basically, Frankie can talk to Jeannie and actually show her the inner workings of this platform, what y'all doing. Y'all doing a phenomenal thing in the world, personally and as a collective whole. And we actually commend y'all on all the things y'all doing and to have great success with everything that y'all doing because y'all here to preserve life, and that needs to be applauded.
Yes.
And we
Okay.
just want to say thank y'all for having us on. We appreciate y'all letting us get on and tell our stories, letting us connect with every one of y'all fans and everything. I'm just happy to have all
Yeah.
y'all a part of the family.
We can
Yes.
do this again.
Yes.
I can
Thank
see us
you
We
all
gotta
out
all.
here
do this
hugging on the
again.
beaches now, you know?
Yeah, we gotta do it again. We missed Latoya, so let Latoya know she ain't get away.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I
I
trust her.
will.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually structure this again. Through frankly, I don't have y'all two numbers, but eventually I will because I'm coming a part of y'all structure.
Yeah, I'm about to
So
add you
we're
to our
gonna
group.
actually, yeah, we're gonna formulate this again. Because our people need to hear this not just one time, but on a continuous basis. And I don't know if
Yes.
Tina agrees with this, but
Oh,
this is
I
what I've been
agree.
through.
I'm excited about growth. I mean,
Yeah,
whenever I see
Yes.
people growing and going to higher levels, especially when they're going with a mindset, a positive mindset, unselfish mindset, a sharing mindset, I'm all for it. So, with that, everyone, we are coming to a close. And so what I would like everyone to do, go on mute,
we do a
and
brief
I'm going to
meditation.
take us to
Yeah,
another
space.
space. Yes. Okay. The music that you hear is not my music. I am using it to take us to a space of peace. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Relax. Relax the top of your head. Relax your forehead. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax your face. Come down, relaxing your neck. Move on down your body, relaxing your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax. Come down your arms. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax your fingers. Relax. Relax your legs. Come on down. Relax your legs. Relax your toes. Relax. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm going to count backwards from 5. When I get 1, breathe in and breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes slowly. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Peace and blessings.
Have a
See
great
y'all
one.
again.
Thank you.
Y'all too. Blessings. Good day to everybody.